Hello, boys and girls. So far we've learned mm, how to read picture graphs, how to make bar graphs. Today we're gonna do lesson 10.3. So I want you to look for this page on your packet because that's the lesson that we're gonna do today. Today is Wednesday. We're gonna do read bar graphs instead of reading picture graphs. Today we're gonna read bar graphs. And our essential question is, how can you read a bar graph to find the number that a bar shows? So here we go. We're going to begin with this graph. It says type of sneaker we are wearing. And these are the two types of sneakers that we are going to look at. We're going to look at sneakers with laces and sneakers with no laces, those that have Velcro on them. And then it says, over here you can see, let's read this one first. Here we can see that each of these circles stands for one child. So if we want to know how many children participated in this graph, all you have to do is count them all together, and you would know how many kids actually gave their opinion, or how many kids were asked the type of sneakers that they were wearing. All right, so let's see what we have to do here. It says, write a question about the graph. Use right counters to help solve the problem. So basically, we probably are supposed to put the right counters over here, but it's all right. We're going to count. We're going to see how many children, boys and girls, how many children have sneakers with laces. Let's find out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Over here we have that these are the kids that said, no, I don't have sneakers with laces. I have sneakers with Velcro. Let's see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we know that there are more children that are wearing sneakers with laces than children that are wearing sneakers with Velcro or no laces. So we have to come up with a question, and I'm going to see if we can find an easy question. How about if we say, don't forget it has to be about the graph. So we can actually say, how many children are wearing sneakers with laces, right? That would be a great question. How? We begin with uppercase. How many? Do not forget to leave a space between the words. How many children? Children because it's more than one, right? We know that it's more than one. We can see it. How many children are wearing, here we go, are wearing sneakers with laces. And since this is a question, we must put a question mark at the end. So this is our question, the question that we came up with. And it says, how many children are wearing sneakers with laces? And we can find the answer at the top. We said that there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 children wearing sneakers with laces. So that's our answer, 10. Right now, you can pause the video and you can copy our question. And then once you're done, you can go ahead and unpause the video and we continue. All right, boys and girls. So we're going to get into bar graphs right now. Here we go. So right here, you have a bar graph. Now, this bar graph, boys and girls, it's in horizontal view. I want you to look at this because the bars, they move from the left to the right. And that's whenever you make a bar graph, that's the way you should make them. They should go from the left to your right, from your left to your right. That's the way bar graphs, horizontal bar graphs move. And it says in a bar graph, each bar shows information. So these are the bars. We have 3 bars in this bar graph. You can compare the length of the bars. What title describes this graph? As you can see, we don't have a title for this graph. We're missing the title. But I want you to look at it. Over here we have art tools. And we have markers, we have paintbrushes, and we have crayons. Now, what do you think would be a good title for this bar graph? Over here, we can also see the number of children. How many children, boys and girls, do you think we have here? How many children do you think participated in doing this bar graph? The answer is right here, only 6 children. So we're gonna find out, boys and girls, what could be a good title for this bar graph. Don't forget, it's about art tools. So how about if a good title could be which one is your favorite art tool? So I think that would be a good title. Which one is, or maybe not everything fits. Maybe we can just put which one is your favorite, right? Because we already know that these are art tools. So we're gonna put here which one is your favorite, and we can even put a question mark at the end. Which one is your favorite? Is it markers, paintbrushes, and crayons? So now we're gonna answer a few questions about this bar graph right now. And to do that, we're gonna go to the questions. Here we go. Question number 1. How many children shows what? Paintbrushes. Even though you don't see the word, but you can see the picture. And that's a picture of a paintbrush right there. So we're gonna go back to the bar graph and we're gonna look for paintbrushes. So all we have to do is to count, boys and girls, count the spaces, just like the picture graph. And but this time we're gonna count all the spaces in reference to the numbers that we have at the bottom. Ready? So the paintbrushes are the blue bar. So here we go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it goes all the way to 6. So how many children actually shows the paintbrushes? 6. We go back to our question number 1 and we could write our answer. All right, we're moving on to number 2. Number 2 says, how many children chose crayons? How many children chose crayons as their favorite art tool? Let's go back to the bar graph. Crayons is right here. So as you can see, we begin with 0 and we move from 0 to 1. So here's 1, and then from 1 to 2, here we have 2. So how many children chose crayons once again? 1 and 2. So we go back to our question number 2, and the answer is 2. Just like the number on the question. We're moving down to number 3. Number 3, how many more children chose paintbrush than crayons? So now we are comparing, boys and girls, and whenever we compare, it's time to subtract. We're gonna take away. What are the numbers that we're gonna compare? We're gonna compare the number of the paintbrush and the number for the crayon. And these are the numbers for the paintbrush and also for the crayon. So we don't have to go back to the bar graph right now. We're gonna take a look at 6 and 2. So since we know that when we are comparing, we have to take away, we say 6, take away 2. You have 2 choices for these. The easiest one is, since that we are subtracting, you're gonna put the smaller number in your head. 2 is your smaller number. You put it in your head and you're gonna count all the way to 6. So let's see, how many circles does it take to get from 2 to 6? So after 2 goes 3, 4, 5, and 6. we stopped because we got to 6, right? How many circles did it take you to come from 2 to 6? 4. 4 is our answer. But it's my job to teach you both ways. So I'm going to teach you the other way. Or kind of remind you because you already know the other way. The other way, boys and girls, is to draw 6 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we take away 2. Take away 1 and 2. How many do you have left? 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 left, the same number. So you can do it in whichever way you like. Or if you want to do it using your fingers, you're more than welcome to do it that way too. So we can see, boys and girls, if we go back, let's go back to the bar graph now to answer this question. How many more children chose paintbrushes than crayons? And you can actually answer this question without solving the subtraction. You go back to the graph. Here's your bar graph. And you say, well, I'm comparing the paintbrushes against the crayons. Let's see, how many more spaces do I have for the paintbrush that I don't have color for the crayons? Let's count the spaces. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that is 4. You see? So boys and girls, right now we go back to question number 4. Question number 4 says, which art tool did the fewest children choose? Circle. Don't forget, these are the 3 different art tools that we have. We can go back to the bar graph for that. Which one was the one that the fewest children chose? Which one is the shortest bar? You're right. The shortest bar is the yellow one. So that's the tool, the art tool, the fewest children chose. So we go back to the bottom and we're going to circle the crayons. Now, for number 5, let's see what we have here. It says, which art tool did the most children, I'm sorry about that, chose? Circle. So we go back to the bar graph. And now, instead of looking for the shortest bar, we're looking for the longest bar. Which art tool has the longest bar? And if you said the blue one, the paintbrushes, you were right. So don't forget, you're looking out for the picture of the paintbrush because that's the one that we're going to circle. So we come over here, we look for the paintbrush, and voila, we got the paintbrush. Now, we're leaving page 588, and we are moving down to our next bar graph. And here we have our favorite vehicle. Favorite vehicle. And here you can see, boys and girls, that this bar graph, it's not horizontal, right? This is a vertical bar graph. And I want you to look at it because the bars are not like lying down, right? The bars are going up from the pictures. The pictures are at the bottom, and then the bars are going up. So let's take a look at it. And it says favorite vehicle. At the top we have the title, and which are the vehicles that we are comparing here? Well, we have the car, we have the truck, and we have the dump truck. So let's see. Over here you can also see the number of children. How many children were asked? Which one was their favorite vehicle? You can see right here. Your greatest number is the total amount of children that were asked which one was their favorite vehicle. So question number 6, boys and girls, it's about the new graph. Don't forget. It says use graphs. Use the bar graph to answer the questions. We have question number 6 right here. How many children chose car? Here we go. Let's go back to the bar graph. Here we have the car. How many children chose the car? Here we can see 1 space and 2 spaces. So how many children? 2. We go back to our question and we answer a question. 2. Question number 7. How many children chose dump truck? This is the dump truck. It doesn't say dump truck, but it says dump truck over here. So we want to know how many children chose the dump truck. Let's see, up to what number this bar goes. Oh, it goes all the way to number 6. You see, Another way that you can do this is by counting the spaces. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 6 spaces. Or you can simply go all the way up and look at the number. You see, the number is right there, is 6. So 6 is the answer. 6 children chose the dump truck. Boys and girls, number 8. How many children in all chose car and dump truck? How many in all? So do you see this word right here, and? That means, boys and girls, that we are not comparing them, these two. We are adding them. We want to know how many together. So and is a very key and important word right now. And. So what are the ones that we want to count together? Car and dump truck. So this is the car, and this is the dump truck. So we know, boys and girls, that for the dump truck, we have all the way to 6. So now we need to add 2 more. 6 plus 2. We can come over here, number 8, and we can say 6 plus 2. This is addition. 6 plus 2. So a very easy way, boys and girls, is to, since we're adding, we look for the greatest number. Our greatest number is 6. So you put 6 in your head, and you're going to add 2 more. You're going to count 2 after 6. So we put them here, and we're going to count them. We say 6, 7, 8. 8 is your answer. Another way that you can do this is by drawing 6 circles and then 2 circles, and you count them all together. It will be kind of the same thing as counting one by one of these. Counting one by one. Alright, so our answer is 8. 8 children chose cars and dump truck together. Alright, so we're moving down to number 9. Number 9 says, how many more children chose the trucks than cars? The pickup truck than the car. Do you see the word and here? No, right? So that means that we're not adding them. We're not putting them together. They don't want to know how many, They want to know how many, what's the difference? They want to know the difference between the truck and the cars. For that, we are going to take away. So we go back to our bar graph. And these are the two that you are going to compare. The car and the truck. So for the car, we have only 2. But for the truck, we go all the way to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or you can simply go ahead and look at the line. And that's 5. So we have 2 numbers. We have 5 and we have 2. Those are the numbers that we're going to use. We're going to say 5, take away 2. And you, again, have 2 ways to solve this subtraction. 5, take away 2. The first way is the easiest way. You put 2 in your head, and you're going to count to 5. So after 2, we say 3, 4, and 5. We stop now because we got to 5. Now we count. How many circles did it take us to get from 2 to 5? It took us 1, 2, and 3 circles. So 3 is your answer. Another way that you can do it, so you can take out 5 fingers, take away 2, and believe me, you're gonna have 3 left. Or you can draw 5 circles and cross out 2. Your answer will be 3. Alright, boys and girls, number 10. Which vehicle did the most children choose? Circle. Or did the most children choose? Circle. Let's see. Did they choose the car? Did they choose the truck? Or did they choose the dump truck? Which one was the vehicle that most children chose? Let's go back. And like we did before, boys and girls, when we want to know about most, we look at the tallest bar. Which one is the tallest bar? Is it the yellow? Is it the blue? Or is it the green? If you said the green, you said right. The green for the dump truck is the tallest bar. So here we go. We're gonna draw a circle around the dump truck because that's the one that got the most children. Boys and girls, question number 11. We're almost done with this lesson. Order the vehicles from least to most boaters. Write 1 for the least boats and 3 for the most boats. So here we have the car, here we have the truck, and the dump truck. Don't forget, we're going to use 1 for the least and 3 for the most boats. So let's go back to the bar graph. The bar graph gives you all the information that you need to know. Let's see. Which one has the most boats? Well, actually, we're going to begin with 1. So if we begin with 1, we want to know which one has the least. Which one is the shortest bar? The shortest bar is the yellow. So that will be our number 1. Number 1 is the yellow for the cars. Now, we only have 2 bars left to compare. If we want to do number 2, which I think is just fair, we are going to compare these 2 now. Which of these 2 is the shortest bar graph? The blue or the green? And if you use the blue, very good. The blue is for the pickup. So the pickup truck is the next one. So we put 2 under the pickup truck. And finally, boys and girls, for number 3, which one is the tallest bar? Tallest bar is the green, and it stands for the dump truck. So we put a 3. We'll go back to the bottom, and we're going to put a 3 under the dump truck. All right, boys and girls, let's see if I can get all these pages, all the page, into the screen. So you can pause the video if you want, and you circle your answer, write your numbers. Go ahead. All right, boys and girls, we are moving on to our last page on this lesson. In our last page on this lesson, we have another bar graph. And he says, use the bar graph to answer the questions. The title of this bar graph is How Our Jackets Are Fastened. So the fasteners, the 2 types of fasteners that we're going to look at are zippers and buttons. So once again, we have, this is a horizontal bar graph. In a horizontal bar graph, the bars are going to move from your left all the way to your right. That's how it goes. All right, so once again, this is the number of jackets. How many jackets are we looking to today in this graph? We're looking to 5 jackets. We're looking into 5 jackets to see how these jackets are fastened, by zipper or by bottoms. All right, so here we go. It says, Kim puts on a jacket with buttons. Add her jacket to the graph. How many jackets have buttons? So there's a kid called Kim, for Kimberly, right? Kimberly, there you are, you're right there. So Kimberly puts on her jacket, and her jacket has buttons. So we're gonna add Kimberly over here, and I want you to add her too. You can do it with your pencil, or you can use a yellow crayon. So we just added Kimberly for the we added Kimberly, right? Kim. We added Kimberly to the jacket. To the jacket with buttons. And now we're gonna count how many we have now that we added one more. We have 1, 2, and 3. So now we have 3 jackets that wear buttons to be fastened. Now, boys and girls, number 13. We continue with our same bar graph. Our same bar graph at the top of the page. This is question number 13. Ed adds a row to the graph to show jackets with snaps. So now we're gonna add one more row to this bar graph. And then he says that Ed adds a row to the graph to show jackets with snaps. 2 fewer jackets have snaps than have zippers. How many jackets have snaps? Now we're comparing jackets with snaps, a new category, to jackets with zippers. Let's go back over here to the zippers. We are comparing jackets with zippers to a new category. We're not going to draw that category, so no worries about that. All we're going to do is that we are going to count how many children already have a jacket with a zipper. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The easiest way to count these is to follow your bar all the way to the end. Where does it end at? It ends at 5. So that's the amount of jackets that have zippers. So don't forget that number, 5, because we're going to the bottom again. We know, boys and girls, that the new category that is called snaps, fasteners, that category has 2 less than 5. So one number is 2 less than 5. Now, we're subtracting. When we subtract, the greatest number has to be first. And then we put minus, and then we take away from the greatest number. We say 5, take away 2. 5, take away 2. The easiest way, we've seen it before, is to put 2 in your head, because we're subtracting. You look for the smaller number. You put 2 in your head. You're going to count from the smaller to the greater number. So after 2 goes 3, 4, and 5. We got to 5. We stop, and then we count. How many circles did it take you to get from 2 to 5? 1, 2, and 3. 3 is your answer. Don't forget, you can also put 5 fingers up and take away 2, 1 and 2. You should have 3 left. And or you can draw 5 circles and cross out 2. Is your choice. Our last question. Use the graph. Oh, okay. So before we move on to the last one, 3 jackets. This is the amount of jackets that have snaps, the new category that we added to our bar graph. But we're not really going to add it. Our last question, boys and girls, says use the graph that we've been using about the jackets. How many more jackets? How many more? That means subtraction. We're comparing two numbers. How many more jackets have zippers than buttons? Circle the answer. Which one is the answer? 7, 5, or 3? Don't forget, we're comparing our two numbers. What are the two numbers that we have? We have 5. You can see it here, 5. And here we have 3. We have 5 and 3. Since we know that we're comparing and we're taking away, I want you to remember, boys and girls, that the greatest number has to be first. So now instead of 5 take away 2, we're going to say 5 take away 3. 5 take away 3. And once again, you can, since you're subtracting, you choose the smaller number or the number that is that means less. And you're going to count from 3 all the way to 5. Right? So after 3 goes 4 and 5. How many circles did it take you to get from 3 to 5? 2. That's your answer. You can also do it counting, taking out 5 fingers, taking away 3, counting how many you have left. Or you can draw 5 circles, cross out 3, and that's your answer. All right, boys and girls. So now we're gonna read. We're leaving our lesson behind because I want you to work on your homework. This is the homework for this lesson, for lesson 10.3. I'm not going to do it with you because I want you to do this one on your own. It says, use the bar graph to answer the questions. So this is your bar graph. It says, our favorite breakfast. We have muffins, egg, and pancakes. How many children chose eggs? You go look at the eggs. How many more children chose pancake than egg? So now the thing is between the pancake and the egg. We need to take away. Take away. Our next one, question number 3. Use the bar graph to answer the question. Claudette uses an umbrella. Add her to the graph. Now, how many more children use an umbrella than a hat? So that is your question. Again, you're comparing these two, so you have no choice but to take away, subtract. And our question number 4. Use numbers and pictures to compare two items in a bar graph. Use numbers and pictures. So now I want you to make your own bar graph. I want you to come out with your own little bar graph, all right? You try your best. And then you can ask people, like you can maybe compare 2 different animals or 2 different type of food or 2 colors is your choice. Question number 5, boys and girls. Well, this is actually no question number 5. We're moving to a new page, and this page comes with its own number 1. So this is a new bar graph, and it's our favorite activity for a rainy day. Our favorite activity for a rainy day, we have read a book, paint, you have an easel, and computer, probably computer games, right? And here we have the number of children. 10 children participated in these questions. So how many more children chose computers than easel, than paint? We are comparing these two. That means that we need to take away. That's subtraction. You count, you have your two numbers, and then you have to subtract the greatest number. When you're taking away, when you're subtracting, your greatest number must be the first one. We're going to review a little bit over here, and it says, write a subtraction sentence you can solve by using 9 plus 7 equals 16. So you can actually write another addition, right? If we flip the numbers, you have 9 plus 7, you flip the numbers, now you have 7 plus 9 is equals 16. Hopefully this is helpful, because now you're going to take away. When you take away, your greatest number must be first. Which one is the greatest here? 16. So 16 must be first. And then you decide who do you want to take away and who do you want the answer to be. All right. Boys and girls, our last question, question number 3. How many fewer baseballs are there? Subtract to compare. How many fewer baseballs are there? Look, these are the mittens, baseball mittens, and these are your baseballs. How many fewer baseballs are here? You can draw 7 circles, take away 5. You can come from 5 all the way to 7, or you can simply count the missing spaces. Well, boys and girls, hope you have fun doing this homework, because I really like bar graphs, and you become an expert in bar graphs. Well, see you later for science. Today we're gonna do science, so I want you to look for that science video that I sent to your parents' phone. Okay? Well, bye. See you later.